The battle on the Brazos has a trip to Jerry World on the line tonight, as each of these teams are 48 minutes away from cementing their legacy and punching their ticket to next week's state championship game. It's the winners from Region 3, the Tyler Chapel Hill Bulldogs, against the Region 4 champions, Davenport Wolves. From McLean Stadium here in Waco, Texas, I'm Sam Kamen alongside Cole Pavelio. And Cole, a stellar matchup here in this state semifinal here at the home of the Baylor Bears. You've got a team in Tyler Chapel Hill that is a premier team when it comes to East Texas. They've been to the state championship game. They've won state championships. Now they're trying to get back. They've been in this game the past 2 years, have not got over the hump, and they're taking on a Davenport team that might be the team of destiny in their 4th year as a school, 2nd in UIL play, already in the state semifinals and trying to make their first title game appearance.
You hit the nail on the head, Sam. You talk about Chapel Hill, 3rd straight time here in the state semifinal. Davenport, first time making it here to the state semifinals. We've got the coin toss down on the field. This is John Eddie Williams Field. It's football on the Brazos. Who will we be seeing go into the Brazos River at the end of this? Which head coach will it be? We'll have to see.
Davenport will receive. They have started each of these playoff games on a very high note. They've averaged 27 first half points, and just playoff games alone, after the first quarter led Fredericksburg 27-0, 21-7 lead after the first quarter versus Beeville Jones, 17-0 against Lavernia after the first quarter, and 14-0 last week against Port Lavaca Calhoun. They've led at the half in all 4 of those games. Their closest game that they have played is come in the playoffs. It was a 2-possession game versus the Bears in Lavernia. Outside of that, it has been smooth sailing because they jump out to such a big lead, a reason why their win margin is plus 24.
And it's going to be who strikes first in this battle between the Bulldogs and the Wolves. Coach Riordan with Chapel Hill, been here before, and he's been to the state championship before and won it before. And then Coach Zimmer Hansel starting a brand new program in Garden Ridge, Texas, just outside of San Antonio. I mean, you've talked about a team of destiny. That's why the whole community is here. I mean, when you look at the sidelines for both these teams, it's a good showing to fans. And kickoff is just about to happen here in Waco. And the one thing both these teams don't want to do, they don't want their playoff dreams to die in Waco, the land of the Baylor Bears.
So we are underway here from McLean Stadium. Barrett Fallon receives the first kickoff. He's got an alleyway, still on his feet, past midfield, dragged down at the 46-yard line.
Could you ask for a better start if you're the Davenport Wolves? Big kickoff return from the 5-yard line. We'll see Fallon break a few tackles, get past a few outstretched hands, and he gets it all the way down to the Bulldog 46. Great kick return to start off the game for the Wolves and their spread offense. It's the first time we'll see 2 spread offense teams here in the playoffs for the Wolves.
A 49-yard kickoff return by Barrett Fallon. Opening play from scrimmage is a drop there from Daniel Sokup II. Had a touchdown last week on the ground. Tristan Hamlin has been spectacular as one of the quarterbacks in 4A is a quarterback of the year finalist. On second down, a give to Barrett Fallon. Pick up a 4.
Hamlin, I mean, talk about a quarterback that has led the way for his football team, along with the rest of the skills group for Davenport, has been outstanding all season long. Him and the rest of the skills group is what will be key for the Wolves here today.
3rd and 6. They go right back to Sokup. He's got a first down. He steps out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And here's that hurry-up offense.
So far, we've just seen Sokup be the go-to receiver. But the dangerous thing about these Wolves is every single skill position player can hurt you, and they'll hurt you quickly if you give them the opportunity to. We've already seen Fallon make the big kickoff return. We've seen Sokup get it a few times, and by the end of this quarter, I think we'll see at least 2 more players get the ball, but compared to Chapel Hill, they just don't have as many weapons.
Pick up a 5 for Fallon. Second down and medium. They go right to Emmett Griman, who sits down just short of the sticks. It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Wolves. They were 7 for 11 against the Sand Crabs. Trying to go for 2 for 2 against the Bulldogs here early. Opening possession. Flushed out of the pocket is Hamlin. Looking for a man. He's got a wide open Kyler Payne in the end zone.
Wide open. No one in the area code to Kyler Payne. Great to see him out there. Went down with an injury last week, but he's out there healthy, catching the first touchdown for the Wolves.
61 yards on 4 receptions and a touchdown last week. Another touchdown catch here today.
Just look at how wide open he is. No one anywhere near him. I mean,
the closest is Daniel Sokup.
He had more than 20 feet around him any which way. Now Miles Mendez for the extra point.
Up and good. 10:45 left in the first quarter. Davenport strikes first once again. 26-yard touchdown pass to Kyler Payne. You are watching Texas High School playoff football on the Wolves Sports Network. Six-play drive. They go 46 yards in just over a minute. A minute 6 ticks off the clock. And it's Kyler Payne scoring once again in the playoffs. The senior, 12 touchdowns coming into today, right behind Emmett Griman. You mentioned the many weapons. Tristan Hamlin has one 1,000-yard receiver, but he's got 2, and Emmett Griman and Kyler Payne are a big reason why they've been successful this year. A pooch kick, is fielded and brought out to just shy of the 45, so good field position for Tyler Chapel Hill, as it was DeMar Blaylock with the return.
Look at that last drive for the Wolves. That was kind of the epitome of what we've seen Davenport do all postseason long so far. They strike quick, they strike often, and they don't let the other teams get back to them. The only time we've seen them even be a close game was that last one against the Sand Crabs. And then you saw what the second half there in the Alamo Dome was.
Opening give to Ricky Stewart, and a nice shoestring tackle there by Eric Singletary. This is the bread and butter for Tyler Chapel Hill. You got 2 SMU commits with their running back Ricky Stewart, who's got 37 touchdowns, as well as Demetrius Brisbane Jr., who has got a first down and is dragged down inside the 35 of Davenport territory. A big pickup for Brisbane.
Great open field tackle there by the Wolves to stop what was likely going to be a touchdown there. Great open field tackle that was by number 20, Cole Boron.
Here's Ricky Stewart. Slings out a 1 tackle, and he's got reservations for 6. Touchdown, Chapel Hill. They respond right back with a touchdown of their own. They only needed 3 plays as Ricky Stewart scores his 39th total touchdown. His 42nd touchdown.
And you see Stewart's trot to the end zone. Got through it with a spin move, and now it's tied up at 7-7 here in Waco. And we saw it right there on that drive for Chapel Hill, what Chapel Hill is going to do. They have the weapons to be able to do quick touchdowns as well. And the difference between these two teams is going to be size, Davenport's athletic and quick, and then you see Stewart again, the spin move to the end zone that got him to 6 points. But you see the size difference between all these players there. I mean, it's apparent from all the way up here where we are about, I don't know how high above the river we are, but we're a ways up here in McLean Stadium. 9:51 to go in the first quarter, 7-7 game already. And it's like two Davenport teams facing off against each other right now.
Yeah, 3-play, 57-yard drive for the Bulldogs that only took 48 seconds off the clock. A 32-yard touchdown run for Ricky Stewart. And it's the closest thing that Davenport has faced to themselves. Davenport averages about 48.5 points per game. The Bulldogs, 45 points per game. So this could be a big-time shootout here on the Brazos as Barrett Fallon gets it to the 33-yard line as they will try to replicate the success they had on drive number 1.
This is going to be an interesting challenge for the Wolves. They haven't faced anything like Chapel Hill yet this postseason. I mean, it's almost facing yourself with how Chapel Hill lines up on the offensive side, but the defensive side, it's a little interesting. About a 4-3, they'll get an outside linebacker to drop down to the line typically.
First down carry for Fallon, and he's able to muscle his way for a gain of 3. When they are running the ball well, they're a tough team to stop. When they win, they're averaging 7 yards per carry. In the 3 losses for Davenport, they're only averaging 4 yards per carry. RPO there is just out of the reach. Intended target was Dante Singletary, as there was a little bit of pressure applied to Tristan Hamlin. Another incompletion for Hamlin, so it'll be another 3rd down. They were 2 for 2 in drive 1.
Talk about how when Davenport reaches their yards a carry, average about 6 to 7. They're 4-3. I mean, when they don't reach that, they're 4-3. So it's pivotal to get Barrett Fallon the running game started early as Hamlin keeps it himself and gets the first down and goes down with the slide.
Big 3rd down pickup for Hamlin. Got all the way to the 45-yard line, had no open receiver, and he does that a little bit. Not necessarily known for his legs, but uses his legs to pick up another key 3rd down conversion. Fallon to the left of Hamlin. They give it to Fallon, very patient, and slipped
turf
up.
Monster here in Waco.
Davion Ross there, closest guy to tackle Fallon, also known as Dada, so we'll be calling his name as Dada Ross, one of the middle linebackers. Empty set for Hamlin, throws it out to Fallon, and he is met immediately. Javen Mayfield with a tackle for loss, and the longest 3rd down the Wolves have faced so far. It's going to be a 3rd and 12.
And it's pivotal going left to right here for the Wolves to get these first downs because you can't see it from the screens right now, but the wind is blowing in from the horseshoe off of the Brazos River. So wind going right to left down on the ground. Up where we are, it's not too windy, but down the field, it's blowing and it's whipping down there.
2 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. Hamlin, quick throw, back shoulder to Payne, looking for a flag. They're not going to get one. Mayfield on the coverage. And we'll see if Coach Zimmer Hansel is going to try to roll the dice here early. He's going to send out the punting unit. Miles Mendez, the punter, only had 1 punt in the game versus Port Lavaca Calhoun. 35-yard punt going into the wind now. Gets it off. It's going to bounce inside the 30, take a couple Davenport bounces, and then be downed at the 25. 7:41 left. Tie ball game from McLean Stadium. A good one between the Region 4 and Region 3 winners. You are watching Texas High School football on the Wolf Sports Network. starting at their own 25. The Bulldogs scored on 3 plays their last possession. Here's a first down carry for Stewart, and good pursuit there by the Wolves. Tate Broadus there on the tackle. Alongside Zaire Livingston, a good sign for Wolves fans, as Livingston did not play at all in the win versus the Sand Crabs.
Great to see Tate Broadus getting started where he left off last week. 3 sacks for him, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. We'll see if he can do the same here today in Waco. Talked to his dad before game. We'll see if his go-to breakfast meal before games of donuts pays off again here.
Krispy Kreme or Shipley's is my question for Tate Broadus. Big tackle there from Walker Birch. Makes it 3rd and 5. Brisbane going to take his own keeper, and tripped up by Ryan Howe. He's only going to be able to pick up a yard as Brisbane. A key 3rd down stop for the Wolves, and quickly sending out the punting unit is head coach Jeff Reardon.
I mean, it's going to be key to stop Brisbane. Junior averages 2 yards a rush in losses. In victories, though, he averages almost 13 a carry. So, big difference between a victory and a loss, stopping Brisbane.
Trevor Brooks able to get it away. Line drive punt goes over the head of Gryman, and that's going to go inside the 10. Can they stop it before the end zone? They're going to mark it inside. No, it's going to be a touchback.
That's a big call there in favor of the Wolves. I don't know quite sure about that one, but let's see it here on the replay. We can see the Bulldogs, I know, throw it up in the air, trying to get it out of the end zone. It was 5 and 11 there. Oh, right there, just a
right
shoe.
Toe.
Ooh, that's rough.
The right toe of Braylon Dean was just on that white. Good hustle there from Tyrell Gauze as well. So, good starting field position. That's a very long punt for Brooks. Long on the year was 64. That'll help the punting average, but first down from the 20. Shallow crosser to Gryman. Able to get a couple yards after the catch. Pickup of 6.
Right there you saw Gryman, and this is the versatility of the Wolves. They have so many weapons that are dangerous. They've got Gryman. He can play running back, tight end, wide receiver. We'll see him line up just about everywhere except quarterback, as a run up the middle by the Wolves gets stopped at 3 yards. But the versatility of this team versus Fredericksburg, 6 players with 10 or more reception yards versus Jones, 4 with 10 or more. Lavernia, 5 players with 10 or more receptions yards. So feeding every single Wolf of this pack, that's the versatility that's going to get the Wolves the victory here tonight and cement their trip to Jerry World.
3rd and 1. Fake to Fallon. Able to get it out to Sokup, who makes a man miss in space. Up to the 37-yard line. Great move there by Daniel Sokup. Didn't have the first down yardage at first, but then the run after the catch moved the chains.
Great cut there by Sokup to avoid the tackle. Great to see him back out there. Had an injury earlier in the season.
Post pattern just out of the reach. Dante Singletary on the play action pass. Wolves tried to take a shot and just missed it.
So we've seen Sokup last play. We see Singletary here. We've seen Gryman and Payne. So that's 4 different skill players already receiving the ball from Hamlin. And I'm telling you, Sam, this is going to be the key right here.
Give to Fallon, and he is going nowhere. Big stop for number 62 of the Bulldogs, Isaiah Collins. So 3rd and long for the Wolves.
And if you're the Wolves, you don't want to be seeing these 3rd and long situations. This is already the 4th 3rd down that you've had to deal with, and the second one that's been a long one. So something that we already are seeing that needs to be changed.
Fallon Moves from the left to the right of Hamlin. Hamlin moves to the left, and that is a catch. They're going to say it did not. It's not a catch by Singletary. Back judge said it did hit the ground. So second straight.
Showing on the big board, and I think it could have been 50-50, so I'm not sure what the back judge saw, but I see it popped out there at the very end is on the big board, but that's what we're seeing here in the stadium. And now the thing that set the Wolves apart last week and the weeks before is the defense has been able to pick up the offense when the offense hasn't been able to get going. So big opportunity here for the Wolf defense.
Good bounce there for Mendez as the punt goes all the way to the Chapel Hill 23. So 3:38 left. Bulldogs and Wolves both tied at 7. Scored within a blink of an eye in both of their first possessions. Thought it might be a score fest, and then 3 straight punts. 2 punts for Davenport, third possession for Chapel Hill. They got 4 wide receivers to the left. Brisbane one-on-one, going to take a deep shot, and a little bit of contact between number 8 of the Bulldogs. They're looking for their go-to receiver, Cameron Kelly.
Great defense there by Jalen Morrow to get that incomplete pass. I mean, you don't want to get the Bulldogs in front. If you're the Wolves, you want to be the team out in front, have the Bulldogs chasing you. I know in the land of the animals, the Bulldogs aren't as quick, but here on the gridiron, it's about equal.
Give to Stewart, and Stewart is wrestled down. Gets all the way to the 26-yard line, so a pickup of 3. 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
High-scoring Bulldogs offense averages right around 45. Just a field goal less than the Wolves. The point differential of 19 on the year for the Chapel Hill Bulldogs.
Stewart motions out to empty. Brisbane sets up the tunnel screen. They've got a first down. Here's Kelly. Gets a block past midfield and down inside Davenport territory. A gain of 32 for Cameron Kelly.
I think that's going to be big is having the pack of Wolves get to the guy that has the ball quickly. Last week it was assignment football. This week it's a lot different. You got to swarm the ball as quick as you possibly can to stop these Bulldogs.
Brisbane able to get to the 39. So a gain of 5 on first down. And the way they won against Kilgore last week, it was a rematch against the Bulldogs. They lost by 23 in their regular season finale. They win a dogfight 21-19, and they did it all on the ground. They only had 7 passing yards against Kilgore. Here's a give to Stewart. Stopped for minimal yardage, only a pickup of 2. So it's 3rd and short for Chapel Hill.
When you talk about the passing game for the Bulldogs, only 5 games where they had greater than 100. 5 games where they had less than 100 passing yards. Only twice did they have more than 200 passing yards on the season.
Brisbane outside, able to get his target inside the 20, and out of bounds is Darius Dean. Able to sneak him across the field on a crosser route. RPO, another 3rd down pickup for Brisbane. And they're now inside the red area, looking to take their first lead of the evening. Bunch set to the left. Keeper for Brisbane. One-on-one in the secondary, and he sidesteps his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Another SMU commit with a touchdown run. This time it's Demetrius Brisbane Jr., his 11th on the ground.
And you see here, he just has a wide open lane, sidesteps Jalen Morrow for the touchdown for Demetrius Brisbane Jr. As the extra point is up and good, makes it 14-7.
1:26 left here in the first quarter. Tyler Chapel Hill with their first lead of the state semifinal. You are watching Texas High School playoff football on the Wolves Sports Network. A 70-yard drive. It took 2:12 off the clock. And the final play that punched it in, a 28-yard run for Brisbane. Their first lead of the game. They've now scored on 2 of their 3 drives. And something that Davenport has not seen often, a deficit in the first quarter. Fallon able to pick it up just outside the 20, gets to the 25-yard line where they will try to get back on track. 2 straight punts. They've gotten into some 3rd and longs, have to make it more manageable.
Hamlin's a versatile quarterback, but you can't rely just on him. He's got a great arm. In victories, his yards per completion is almost 16. In losses, though, it's just at about 13. So getting the long passes for Hamlin is vital, and the big plays for the Wolves as well. Good chunk of yardage there, about 6 on the carry by Fallon.
And Barrett Fallon was quiet against the Sand Crabs, only 75 yards rushing, has gone over 100 yards in 10 of 13 games, averaging 130 yards per game, is 171 yards away from 2,000 yards rushing on the season. Here's a keeper for Hamlin, gets all the way to the 39. They're going to give him the 40, so another first down off the feet of Hamlin.
Great thing about Hamlin is he's got a great arm, and he's got the ability to pull it down, and he's smart enough to scan the field all the way and go through all of his reads and then pull it down. He doesn't panic too quickly.
Wide open. Kyler Payne, another explosive play, 60-yard touchdown. Kyler Payne, 2 for 2 when going to Kyler Payne.
I mean, let's look at this. Another wide open play for Kyler Payne. Watches it all the way in. That's what you're taught to do. And he has a nice jog to the end zone for 6. Now Miles Mendez on for the extra point. The extra point is up and good for Mendez.
No good, no good. It was wide to the left. So instead of a tie ball game with 19 seconds left in the first quarter, it's a 14-13 lead for Tyler Chapel Hill. 75-yard touchdown drive. That only took a minute and a second off the clock, with that final play being a 60-yard strike.
You see
from
the
Hamlin
flags way up there at the top of the stadium. They're windy, but here down the field level, it's not too windy. Sorry for cutting you off there, Sam. As you talked about, a big strike, though, for the touchdown for Kyler Payne. As you see the American flag whipping at top of McLean Stadium, coming off the Brazos River. And here now, if you're the Wolves, you want to get the stop. You don't want them to answer right back.
So Mendez will send it away. They've gone with this pooch kick a lot, trying to keep it out of the hands of their playmakers in Brisbane. Short kick there, and the Bulldogs will take over at about the 38-yard line. So a touchdown for Stewart, a touchdown for Brisbane. Ricky Stewart had 32 carries, 230 yards, and a touchdown versus Kilgore last week. He's averaging 184 yards on the ground, over 100 yards in all but one game. Picked up his 42nd touchdown of the year. 38 of them have been on the ground. Nice spin move there from Stewart, and he's able to get to the 44-yard line. It looked like it was going to be a tackle for loss. Instead, a gain of 7.
Hold them to 7. Sam, this is going to sound kind of crazy. Just don't let them get first downs when they run the ball. That's going to be the vital point here as we head to the second quarter.
That's the end of the first. The Wolves down by 1, 14-13 lead for Tyler Chapel Hill. Back from McLean Stadium in a few moments. Back to play here on the campus of Baylor University. A 2nd and 3. Minimal pickup for Stewart. Pickup of 1. So 3rd and short for Tyler Chapel Hill.
All right, Sam, I'm going to get back to the point I was making before the quarter break. You talk about first downs, 10 yards you need, obviously. Simple enough. But when the Bulldogs do not reach their average of 10 yards per rush, they are 6-2 and a big stop there for the Wolves.
Zaire Livingston with a tackle for loss made sure Demetrius Brisbane Jr. was not going to get to the sticks. And they're going to send out the punting unit.
And it's so good to see Zaire Livingston back out there this week. We didn't get to see him in the Alamo Dome last week, but he's here on the Brazos, making stops again.
So on to punt is Trevor Banks. Second punt today.
Interested to see how his punting does into the wind.
He was able to boom one all the way for a touchback when they were inside the 20. Almost able to get a piece of it were the Wolves. Angles it out of bounds, and it'll be inside the 15. His 9th punt that has ended inside the 20. Had 2 last week versus Kilgore. 3 punts for an average of 35 yards. So now the Wolves, 2 touchdown drives and 2 punts. And both of their touchdown drives have come on explosive plays to Kyler Payne. Fallon sets up to the left of Hamlin. Griman with his hand in the dirt at the tight end. A give to Fallon, and a tackle for loss. Good pursuit from the backside from J-Bo Cook. 90 tackles on the year. So no gain there on first down. Fallon's
Davenport offense, high flying offense, as we mentioned. 500 plus yards every playoff game so far.
Averaging 56 points per game in the playoffs. Second down give to Fallon, able to make a cut and get about half the yardage. Tackle once again by J-Bo Cook. So 3rd and manageable. They've been efficient on 3rd down. Need another conversion. Griman and Fallon in the backfield. They're going to throw a deep pass to Singletary, and that is picked off. Able to stay in bounds and gets inside the 30. Darius Dean with the interception of Tristan Hamlin.
Here you see Dean. I mean, he gets by a lot of Wolves before he's forced out of bounds. And that's not something you can allow to happen this deep in the playoffs. As you see Dean sidestep Wolf there, get by another one. And these Bulldogs fans are excited here in Waco.
That's the first interception of the year for Darius Dean, the 8th interception of the season for Hamlin. Threw for 333, 5 touchdowns and an interception versus Port Lavaca Calhoun. One of 2 turnovers that the Sand Crabs turned into 14 points. First down give to Ricky Stewart. Both teams really bottling up each other's running backs so far. Fallon only has 20 yards on the ground. 53 yards for Stewart.
We've talked about how this Bulldogs team is going to win by running the ball. A game of 701 rushing yards versus Gilmore.
And our first penalty flag of the game. You hear the call. So our referee, Ricky Prine, backing up the Bulldogs 5. Our umpire, Andrew Callis. Head linesman, Mark Adams. Side judge, Jason Gold. Line judge, Eric Dumarai. Field judge, Honore Brown. And Kevin Barnes, our back judge. And going right at the back judge is Stewart inside the 15, down at the 12. First down for the Bulldogs. Good cut there from Ricky Stewart. Able to get upfield inside the red zone once again. Trying to extend their lead. Brisbane is going to run to the left. Stewart blocking out in front, and he drags a Wolf all the way inside the 1. No touchdown for Brisbane just yet. A gain of 11. He reached for the pylon, but they're going to rule him short inside the 1 yard line.
I think that's the right call. I think his knee went down before he extended the ball. I think this could be a lengthy discussion here.
So some confusion on the field right now. I didn't see anyone come off the field as a helmet came off. But it looks like Chapel Hill's going to take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 8:08 left in the second quarter. A tight one here in the state semifinals. Tyler Chapel Hill up 14-13. You're watching Texas High School football on the Wolves Sports Network. Inside the 1, Ricky Stewart in the Wildcat. He is in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Ricky Stewart able to punch it in. Only needed about half a yard. But Stewart with his second touchdown of the evening and all 3 have gone on the ground.
I mean, just barely snuck in there. He needed half a yard, maybe got 75% of a whole yard for the touchdown there. That's the extra point here for the Bulldogs.
Kick is up and good. So a 21-13 lead for the Bulldogs. They've gone touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown. Davenport, touchdown, punt, touchdown, interception. So 7 points off of that Wolves turnover. Davenport will try to get back on track. Only had 2 turnovers last week versus Port Lavaca Calhoun. They created 5, 4 of which came at the end of the game. The Sand Crabs' last 4 possessions were a muff punt, 2 fumbles, an interception, turnover on downs, into the game. This is a Davenport team that can kick it into high gear both offensively and defensively.
And we saw it last week when it was 20-20 to start the second half, and then it ended up being a 20-55 blowout as 35 unanswered as the Wolves put up on the Sand Crabs.
Squib kick here, and having trouble fielding it, but able to get on top of it was Mason Falcone. The Wolves have had some trouble fielding the kickoffs from Aiden Campos, but no turnover there. So the Wolves will start at their 31, fresh off of a turnover last possession. Hamlin trying to get back to the success he's been having all season. 46 touchdowns. Only needs 153 yards to go over 4,000 yards passing for the season. Give to Fallon and drag down from behind. Trevor Brooks with the tackle. One of 2 Bulldogs to have over 100 tackles on the season. 106 tackles for Brooks. Ross leads the team with 152, averaging 10.9 tackles per game. Gain of 1 for Fallon as Payne motions to a 3-by-1 set. Pressured, able to get it to soak up his Fallon. Late flag comes in. This might be 15 extra yards for roughing the passer.
We'll see what we get here, but any yards that he can take against this Bulldogs team, he'll gladly take. So a big penalty there against the Bulldogs in favor of the Wolves, and this is not a Bulldogs team that likes to let their opponent have the ball, and they hold them to low-scoring games often.
So an automatic first down brings the ball to the 45-yard line of Chapel Hill.
Talked about how this Bulldogs defense doesn't like to allow scoring. Chapel Hill has outscored opponents in this playoffs 152-65.
Flushed out of the pocket. Tough contested pass there. Greiman was the intended target. Dylan Johnson on the coverage. This is a Chapel Hill defensive line that gets after the quarterback. They've got over 80 pressures on the year. Plenty of tackle for loss. Big front 7. Second down, trying to get it to Greiman once again, and he is draped once again. Coverage there from Day Ross.
Coach Zimmer Hans on the sideline wanting a flag on that one. Another big third down here.
3rd and 10 after the 2 incompletions. 0 for 2 when it was 3rd and 12. Play clock at 10. Plenty of time for Hamlin to give out instructions. Soak up in motion. Hamlin, delayed draw to Fallon, makes a couple Bulldogs missing space, and then he is dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Once again, a tackle in the backfield. Henry, third kill. Actually, a loss of 1 for Fallon. And decision time for J.D. Zimmerhan, so he's going to keep the offense on the field. 6:30 left to go here in the second quarter. Bulldogs will get the ball first in the second half.
Gutsy play here with how the wind's been blowing. You don't want to touch back.
Fallon back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, looking for a man. He's going to run it instead, and he dives for the 35. They're going to mark him at the 34. First down, Davenport.
Gutsy play there by Coach Zimmerhansel, and then an even gutsier play by Tristan Hamlin, pulling it down after going through all his reads and gets the first down. Big first down. As the Bulldogs is slow to get up. Looks like one of the defensive tackles, can't quite get a number on who it is, but the two teams will get a little bit of a break here.
I know it's Thurkill who just had the tackle for loss, but that's a third pickup on third down or fourth down for Tristan's legs.
I mean, early on in this game, it's been kind of apparent what needs to be changed for the Wolves, and it's been that you can't get into these long third down situations. They've been converting, which is great, and it's a great pat on your back, but it's not something that you can continuously do and thrive in. As Thurkill gets up on its own. Well, it'll be interesting to see what changes at the halftime, 6 minutes away.
So 32 yards on the ground for Hamlin on 3 carries. Fallon in the backfield with him. First down. Quick throw to Sokup, and he's inside the 30 and muscles his way to the 28. Good recognition by Hamlin to sense that corner blitz and got it right to where they were blitzing from.
And with Payne dealing with that injury he received last week, has been Sokup, the go-to receiver so far here today.
And they're going to rule it an incomplete pass. Pressure there from Dada Ross.
Good footwork by Hamlin, managing to get out of the tackle box, making sure it wasn't intentional grounding.
They're actually going to discuss to see if this is intentional grounding. Ricky Pine and Mark Adams.
I think it was going to be pretty close.
And they are going to drop a flag. Huge loss. It would have been 3rd and 4. Instead, you got to back them up all the way to the 38-yard line. Head coach J.D. Zimmerhansel asking for an explanation from Mark Adams. Not to the avail that they want.
You see Tristan Hamlin talking with one of the refs as well, trying to get an explanation of where the flag was, why it was thrown.
Take another look on the video board. Lucky it's not a fumble either. It would have been Wolves' ball as Luke Lindley was on top of it. Instead, it's 3rd and 14 for the Wolves. Back to throw across the middle, and Sokup was the intended target. He was going to get
an incompletion there, went right in the hands of the Bulldogs defensive back. Looked like Josh Costienda was the Bulldog on coverage and hit him right in the stomach and just lost the handle. Would have been his second interception for the safety sophomore.
So they're going to roll the dice once again. 4th and 14. They picked up a 4th and 11 on this very drive. Empty set for Hamlin.
Looks like blitz is coming.
They bring 5 over the middle. Emmett Griman's got another first down. They have been so good on 3rd and 4th down.
Let's watch this right here, Sam. Got 7 different guys coming straight at him, and then Hamlin finds Griman right over the middle.
First down carry for Fallon, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Kendall Allen in on the tackle. He's actually the second leading tackler with 111. So 3 100-plus tackle defenders for the Bulldogs. A really solid front seven. The best the Davenport Wolves have seen this season. Another Fallon carry. Pickup of 3. Clock moving close to the 4:30 mark. Yet another third down for the Wolves. 2-by-2 set. Fallon to the left of Hamlin as he looks over to the sideline, getting more instructions.
Looks like we might see Trevor Brooks on a blitz on that near side linebacker position. You see that one true linebacker in the middle, and then you got 2 acting as outside linebackers.
They rush 4. Hamlin steps up, going towards the end zone, and that draws a penalty flag. Emmett Greiman had 2 Bulldogs on him, and it looks like they got a little bit of jersey with it. So a pass interference, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. Josh Castaneda on the coverage. Getting some help from Day Ross. Foul occurred in the end zone all the way at the 2-yard line. Fallon. And he does not pick up any yardage, actually loses yardage. Good surge there from the Bulldogs. 2nd and goal from the 3. Two running back set. Greiman to the right, Fallon to the left. Fallon motions out. Pitch to Greiman. Greiman looking for the corner, and he surges in. Touchdown, Davenport. His 4th touchdown on the ground, and they're a 2-point conversion away from tying this ball game up.
You see Greiman get the head of steam, charges from the 2, tries to dive, powers his way in for the touchdown. Makes it 19-21 before the extra point.
Mendez 1 for 2, missed wide to the left on his last extra point. This one is true. 3:26 left in the first half. Bulldogs 21, the Wolves 20. Back on the Wolves Sports Network in a few moments.
For the Bulldogs, number 3,
A 69-yard touchdown drive that took 4:36 off the clock. Had 2 4th down conversions, some 3rd down conversions as well. And it was capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run from Emmett Greiman in the end zone for the 18th time in his senior season. Brings it back to a 1-point game. 3:26 left here in the second quarter. And a deep kickoff there from Mendez. Angled towards their sideline, trying to reverse it all the way back to the Chapel Hill sideline. And finally tackled at the 25. A lot of east and west movement from Javen Mayfield. But
right here, the biggest thing for the Wolves, I want to see a stop right here before halftime. I want this score to stay where it is. Unless the only other way I don't want it to be 20-21 still, Sam.
Is if the Wolves get it back.
Yeah, I want to see a touchdown again for the Wolves. And this is a defense that can do it, and we know that they can because we've seen them do it week in, week out, getting here to the state semifinal.
Brisbane gives it to Stewart. Good surge initially by the Wolves, and Stewart still finds a way to pick up 5 yards.
And the biggest thing is, just going to be getting the stops. Brisbane and Stewart are great downfield runners. You see it there. Looked like a bad run, and he still gets 5.
Read option. Another give to Stewart, and he is stood up. Zaire Livingston making his presence felt once again.
That is the difference that young man makes on defense. You see here, holding Chapel Hill at the line and actually dropping him for 2, thanks to the young man, Zaire Livingston, the senior.
One of 3 Wolves selected to the San Antonio Sports All-Star game. Livingston did not play versus the Sand Crabs, averaging 11.7 tackles per game. 152 on the year, none bigger than that. 3rd and 7, Brisbane looking for time, and he finds his man, Cameron Kelly, past the 45-yard line all the way to the 46 of Chapel Hill. That moves the chains.
Great tackle there by C.J. Tanner, the senior. 80 tackles on the season with 2 sacks. Great stop there.
Brisbane calls his own number. Stewart blocking ahead, and he is cut down by Livingston. Solid pickup there on 1st down. 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard pickup. Two running back set. A give here to J-Bo Cook, and he is going to be short of the line to gain. Gets all the way to the 45-yard line of Davenport. It's going to be 3rd and 1 as we go inch closer toward a minute left here in the first half.
The good thing here for the Wolves is that the Bulldogs are going into the win, so field goals will be harder here.
And back them up 5, a false start. J-Bo Cook, as well as offensive lineman Braylon Allen, got a little jumpy there on 3rd and 1. Makes it 3rd and 6 with 54 seconds. And they're going to take their 2nd timeout of this half. They've got 1 remaining at midfield. They've got a 1-point lead and will get the ball to start the 2nd half.
Big opportunity to have the stop here for Davenport. Got 3rd and 7 coming up after this timeout. This is a defense that has shown you that they're able to get stops here in Waco. They've shown you all year long that they're able to get stops, typically hold opponents to 25 points. In this playoff, they've held them to just 23 on a game.
Throw out all the numbers. This is going to be a high-scoring affair and going to come down to who's going to have the ball last with both of these offenses.
When you're this deep in the playoff, we do all this research for all these numbers, but honestly, none of these numbers matter.
You throw it all out the window once the game time
all that matters
starts.
Is when that clock hits 0 at the 4th quarter, who has more points than the other one. Right now, we're hoping the Wolves get a big stop here on 3rd and 7.
77 yards on the ground for Stewart so far, 68 for Brisbane. 3 of 4 also in the air for Brisbane for 73 yards. Go-to target has been Kelly. He's going to run it himself, and he is going to be short of the line to gain. They're going to give him the 45. It'll be 4th and 1 as we go under a minute. They still have 1 timeout left. See what Coach Reardon wants to do here.
Let's see how loud these Wolves fans get that have made the journey from Garden Ridge, about a 3-hour drive up I-35.
They're going to leave the offense on the field. It's a 9-second difference between play clock and game clock. 2 running backs set. Brisbane is going to go back to pass, looking for a deep shot. Doesn't have a man. He is sacked. Turnover on downs.
Gianni Evans-Williams. What a stop. 6th sack on the year. Let's see him just go off the edge here. Get past one guy. Has to go back him again. Just manages to get Brisbane's shoe for the stop. 7 seconds left on the clock. That's more than enough for these Davenport Wolves to strike. They're going to try to take it to the den right away.
It's going to be 1, maybe 2 plays. They do have 3 timeouts, but good clock management by Coach Reardon to make sure there was very little for the Wolves to work with. A carry for Fallon, and they are going to just take that into the locker room. An exciting first half from McLean Stadium. A back and forth contest versus Tyler Chapel Hill and Davenport. Davenport scored on their first possession, responded by Chapel Hill. A couple punts. Chapel Hill took the lead off a touchdown on the ground from Tamarius Brisbane. Davenport answered right back with a 60-yard touchdown by Kyler Payne. Missed the PAT, and then they exchanged touchdowns once again. Your first half thoughts, Cole?
I mean, just don't get stuck on 3rd and longs. That's something that the Wolves have been dealing with in the first half. Can't get stuck in those 3rd and longs if you want to come out victorious here in Waco. You don't want your playoff dreams to die here in Waco. Right on the Brazos. We want to see Coach Zimmer Hansel at the end of this game jumping into the river. He didn't say he wouldn't do it. He also didn't say he would. So we want a victory here. We want to see Coach Zimmer Hansel have to dry off on the bus on the way home.
So some first half stats for you. Davenport's quarterback Tristan Hamlin, 10 of 20, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Barrett Fallon on the ground. He's been stifled by that front 7 of Tyler Chapel Hill. 14 carries, 28 yards. On the other side for the Bulldogs, 10 carries for 71 yards is their quarterback Demetrius Brisbane, also 73 yards through the air. And then Ricky Stewart, 12 carries, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. We'll take a break here from Waco, Texas. Join us in about 21 minutes as we'll get you set for the second half from McLean Stadium. Until then, enjoy these few messages. You're watching Texas High School playoff football on the Wolves Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's halftime festivities. Please give a hand to the Chapel Hill Bulldog Band and Highlighters Drill Team. The Highlighters are led by their officers. Officers from left to right are Lieutenant Aileen Samuel, First Lieutenant Desi Kissinger, Lieutenant Julie Smith, Lieutenant Sadie Stewart, Lieutenant Haley Renteria, and in the center, Captain Georgia Flake. Social officers are Annette Argote, Rosalinda Fernandez, Sadie Torrego, Emily Vasquez, and Head Social Officer Daphne Rodeo. Biggest fans. We couldn't do this without you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your support. And now, watch the highlighters as they perform an upbeat pond routine to Underneath the Tree. Award-winning Chapel Hill Highlighter. And now, please direct your attention to the field as our Chapel Hill twirlers perform a precision routine to Runaway Baby.
And that jumbotron though is fantastic, and beautiful setting here. If you haven't been to the stadium, it opened in 2014, and those high school playoff games in Pennsylvania there is a lot of fun. And then usually won.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause for your 2023 Military State Finalist Chapel Hill Bulldog Band. The band is being led onto the field by drum majors Zoe Messi, Jordan Sade, and head drum major Katie Kyle.
This game is 21-20. Chapel Hill leads it at the break. This is Texas Professional halftime show during the 4A Division I state semifinals on Pitch 1057.
All right, Bulldog fans, let's get on our feet, get loud, and let's cheer on our Bulldogs in the second half.
Football fans, welcome to the exciting halftime show of Davenport High School, featuring the Diamond Varsity Dance Team, Dazzler's Junior Varsity Dance Team, and the two-time URL State Finalist Davenport Wolf Band. Ladies and gentlemen, Please join us in welcoming the Davenport Diamonds and Dazzlers to the field. Your Diamond Social Officers are Sismai Victorine, Alana Stanford, and Lily Fuller. Social President is Ava Lucia Taglia. Your Diamond Dance Officers are Lieutenant Maya Koenig, First Lieutenant Emily Williams, First Lieutenant Diana Bonilla, and your Diamond's Captain, Nikki Perez. Diamond Dancer of the Week is Sismai Victorine. Dazzler Captain is Sienna Walty, and Dazzler of the Week is Jalea Gray. The Diamonds and Dazzlers are under the direction of Sarah Gentry and Christina Wyman. The Diamonds would like to thank their platinum level sponsors, Yamas and Yamas Facility Solutions, J. Sapia Consulting, and Allied Fire Protection. Their diamond level sponsor, W4 Construction, and their center stage level sponsor, Orlo Mattress. Tonight, they're performing their bomb routine to Party Rock Anthem. This evening, both bands would like to play Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. now present your Davenport High School fight song. We also want to thank our concert level sponsors, GBTC Foundation, Let's Get Pickled and Shot, Max Arc, Heights Dermatology, and Frank Landon Painting and Cleaning. Thank you for your generous support of the Wolf Band.
Back at McLean Stadium, just about set for the second half. At the half, it was the Tyler Chapel Hill Bulldogs 21, the Davenport Wolves 20. Sam Kamen and Cole Pavelio on the call with you. Everything we wanted there in the first half. We got points, we got defense, we had not as much chaos as last week with Port Lavaca, Calhoun, and Davenport, but two very evenly matched teams and a tightly contested first 24 minutes.
I mean, you talked about it's been tightly contested so far. It was tightly contested in the first half last week. We'll see what the Wolves can do coming out of the tunnel here in the second half. If they can put up another 35 unanswered, what a week it'll be headed to the finals in Arlington. But first, Coach Jimmer Hansel's got to go for a swim in the river before the Wolves go swimming up to Arlington.
It would be quite the thing because they have not completed a comeback when they've been down at the half. They've got to do it against a very veteran group in Tyler Chapel Hill, who's looking for their third state championship as a program. Their last coming in 2011 at the 3A level. Their first ever state title was in 1989. Have made 18 playoff trips, 3 straight in the state semifinals. In 2021, they lost 38-35 to Austin LBJ. Last year, they lost 35-0 to the Bernie Greyhounds. This year, they're trying to finally get over the hump as we look at some first half highlights.
And I mean, that was the half of highlights. You see just that incomplete pass there over the middle from Hamlin. But this is a high-scoring game so far. It's not too high-scoring. I know it's 20-21 here entering the second half after the Wolves come out. But this is a do-or-die situation for both teams here in the second half.
Yeah, both of these teams put up some good offensive numbers. 45 points per game for the Bulldogs, 48.5 for the Wolves. Both are at that almost 500 yards per game mark. Wolves are actually averaging more than 500 a game, 471 for the Bulldogs. And this Davenport team continues to impress, even though it's only their second year in UIL, their fourth year being together as a high school. I mean, this is their first senior class to fully start in the school, 26 seniors, and since day one, since they were in middle school, they knew the idea and the goal was to get to Jerry World. Well, you got 24 minutes to prove otherwise, because that dream could very much become a reality for all those 26.
I mean, I know it's just a one-point game right now, but whoever gets a quicker start here in the second half, I think it's going to be their game to take. And you got Chapel Hill receiving the kickoff here, so big defensive drive here for the Wolves. Going to be watching Zaire Livingston, Gianni Evan Williams, and all the rest of them on the defensive side here. Got a big stop to make here. You don't want to give Chapel Hill the momentum to start this second half.
The winner plays the winner of Region 1 and Region 2, Decatur and Anna, a 14-10 game at the half, a short pooch kick, and good field position for Tyler Chapel Hill. A big hit on number 12
as we're
for the
giving
Bulldogs.
Our updates around the playoffs, giving an update for the one lone Comal school here, along with Davenport still in the playoffs. Smithson Valley up at the half, 35-0 down in Corpus against the Veterans Memorial of Brownsville. So looking like the Rangers will be going to the state championship. Now the question is, will the Wolves be able to punch their ticket here in Waco?
Stewart starts the second half with a carry, and he goes nowhere. Tackle from behind, Walker Birch. They have really bottled up Stewart pretty well, so to speak. Only 70 yards in that first half. No really big explosive runs outside of those 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 9. Here's an explosive play. Stewart in the clear, inside the 20 and down at the 18. That might be a commentator's curse right there.
I mean, just a great stop there by the lone wolf, Cole Boron, to get the open field tackle and keep it from being a 6 quick points for the Bulldogs here in the second half.
Keeper for Brisbane, and he's able to get a few. Good pursuit there from Gianni Evans Williams and Eric Singletary there on the tackle. Gain of 2 inside the red zone once again. Bulldogs have been 3 for 3 in red zone trips, all touchdowns. Give to Stewart, nice open field move to sidestep Evans Williams, but still not first down yardage. So it'll be 3rd and 3 at the 12-yard line for the Bulldogs.
The Wolves can hold them to a 30-point field goal here. It would be big to start the second half. Big opportunity. Big names are made in December for football.
They're on their feet. Give to Stewart. He's got the first down inside the 5. And he'll be marked down at the 4. 1st and goal for Chapel Hill.
Man, for a second there, it looked like he wouldn't have the first down, but kept the legs chugging and got the first down. Now 1st and goal for the Bulldogs here to start the second half, and he'll have the opportunity to make it 28-20 game, pending field goal and extra point.
Here's Brisbane with the keeper. Touchdown, Chapel Hill. 2 touchdown runs for Ricky Stewart, and now 2 touchdown runs as well for Demetrius Brisbane Jr.
You see, just keeps it for himself, rolls to the right, manages to get by a few Wolves, dives on in for the touchdown, and he's walking his way in there for 6.
The field goal is up and good. So an opening drive here in the second half that goes for a touchdown. It takes the score to 28-20. Bulldogs ahead. 9:57 left here in the third quarter. Back from McLean in a few moments. A 57-yard drive that took just a second, or 2:03 off the clock. And a 5-yard touchdown run for Demetrius Brisbane Jr. has expanded the lead back to 8 for the Bulldogs. Falcone fields the squib kick and dropped at the 30. And that's where the Wolves offense will start their first drive of the second half. This is the point where, hey, it's a very explosive offense. All it needs is one play to get going and get to that up tempo.
This is a big opportunity here for the Wolves. One drive could get the momentum swing in their favor. And I mean, just a one-possession game with a 2-point conversion if you tack it on. Not out of hand.
They're going to start with a 2 running back set. Fallon motions out. A quick throw to Sokup. It's been one of his favorite targets here today. Sokup, Griman, and Payne. Daniel Sokup the second with a gain of 4 on that reception. 2nd and 6 from the Chapel Hill 34. Hamlin throws again over the middle, and that one is short of Sokup. He was pressured there. Kendall Allen able to take him to the turf, and they've faced a lot of third downs. They've been very efficient, but a big one here. So 3rd and 6. 2 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. Fallon to the left of Hamlin. They're going to roll to his left. Being pressured, chased. He throws across his body. Sokup was there, but it was behind him. And it'll be a 3-and-out for the Wolves to start the second half.
Not the start you want to see in the second half for the Wolves. They just haven't been able to get the offense momentum going like they have the past 4 games of these playoffs, and need the defense to step up here and get a big stop to keep these Bulldogs from getting out in front big.
So punting into the wind is Mendez for the 3rd time. Back to receive is Mayfield. That one's going to land at the 40. That will roll a couple yards in favor of the Wolves, and it will be downed. Actually, they touched it at the 40 is what the referees are saying. So instead of starting at the 33-yard line, the Bulldogs will start at their own 40. 9:07 left here in the third quarter. One of 3 San Antonio teams left in the playoffs. Davenport and Smithson Valley, 2 of the 3, both from Comal ISD. 4A, 5A, and the 6A winners in Region 4 were the Steel Knights. Brisbane calls his own number on first down, able to pick up 4. The initial lane was not there, able to bounce it outside. Actually going to be marked at the 43, so a gain of 3 on first down. You can see the athleticism, a reason why both Stewart and Brisbane are both committed to SMU, both still juniors. Give to Stewart, and a nice open field tackle there by Singletary. Another gain of 3, 3rd and 4 now for Chapel Hill.
The thing that was the game changer last week coming into the second half against Calhoun was getting into the backfield against the Sand Crabs. And I think here tonight it's going to be the same thing in the second half. They can't let Brisbane or Stewart get past the line of scrimmage if you want to get the victory here tonight. You see them getting quickly to Stewart there.
That was actually J-Bo Cook
Doesn't
on
matter
the
who
carry.
it was, they just need to get to him quickly. You can't get the momentum going in favor of Chapel Hill. We saw it last week. I'm going to talk about it. Tate Broadus was someone that was monumental in last week getting the stops. And here, big 4th down.
Good stop there from Gianni Evans-Williams. 4th and 4. Offense stays on the field for Chapel Hill. Brisbane running right. He's got the first down into Davenport territory all the way to the 35-yard line. Big pickup there on 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Saw the Wolves a little unsure of what to do with everyone on the right side. They didn't want to give away that left side, and I saw Evans-Williams trying to help the troops get in the correct formation, but they just didn't get there in time to stop Demetrius Brisbane Jr.
Usually you see a running back to either side of Brisbane. They motion to have 2 running backs on the right to act as lead blockers. Evans-Williams can't get Stewart down, and then he stood up at the 30-yard line, pushed forward to the 29 of Davenport. Pickup of 7 on first down.
And you saw it there again about why this Chapel Hill running backs are so good at being running backs. They keep their feet moving even when they have one basically held down by the defense. They keep those legs chopping, they keep the quick feet, and they get those extra yard or 2 every single time they get stood up.
2nd and 3. Here's Cook into the secondary and bulldozes his way over Cole Bourne. A tackle there at the 10-yard line makes it 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
So far, it's just been one lone wolf that's been getting to the ball, and you can't have that happen, as this is a team that works best as a pack.
Jumbled snap there on the exchange between Brisbane and Cook, but J-Bo Cook able to handle it, get a gain of 2. So 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Halfway gone through this 3rd quarter. Chapel Hill trying to go back-to-back touchdown drives here in the second half, and they do. Touchdown Bulldogs. It's the 3rd on the ground for Ricky Stewart as he continues to be sensational for Tyler Chapel Hill.
And you see sensational Stewart here running up the middle for the touchdown, and so far the Wolves just haven't been able to stop him. And 17 minutes to go, just a little over 17. It's a big deficit, 35-20.
PAT is up and good for Campos. We'll take a break. 5:41 left. Wolves are down by 15 after another touchdown run on the ground for the Bulldogs. Be back from McLean Stadium in a few moments. A 60-yard drive that took 3:27 off the clock And it's Ricky Stewart for the third time today with a touchdown run. All 5 Bulldog touchdowns have been on the ground. Squib kick fielded at the 35 and brought out to the 42-yard line for the Wolves. So good starting field position for Davenport, and this feels like a must-score touchdown drive for the Wolves.
I mean, it really is, Sam. You look at what helps Chapel Hill be Chapel Hill and be competitive game in and game out, and it's the fact that they don't let other teams score. When they win, they typically win this playoff about a score of 38-16. We're right about at that here today in Waco. These Wolves, they've got to get their offense going here.
They go on the ground to Barrett Fallon, and he is stopped for a short gain. Only 2 yards on that pickup. He has been unable to really find his footing here in the last 2 games. Held under 100 yards versus Calhoun, 16 carries for 75 yards. Did have a touchdown as a receiver as well as a runner. 2nd and 8. Hamlin looking for a deep shot. Kyler Payne is there, and it's tapped away. Great defense by Josh Castaneda. Payne was right behind him, but instead a good PBU.
I mean, just watch this here. Up and over the middle looking for the Payne train, but the Payne train's been derailed here so far in Waco. They got to get that Payne train back on track.
That's still a very good thrown ball by Tristan Hamlin, just a better defensive play.
Look at what the Wolves do. When they win, they score just about 50. When they lose, it's about 25.
And a penalty flag. Play clock showing double zeros, and it is going to be a delay of game. So 3rd and 8 just became 3rd and 13.
It's what's been the pain in the bud so far and so long tonight has been these 3rd and longs. They've been converting them, but you don't want to have to convert these. I mean, it's been too many times tonight that this is what they've been relying on, these big 3rd down plays.
So trips left to the short side. Fallon motions out to empty. Hamlin flushed out, has Payne across the middle, and did he get his hand under it? He did not. Payne thought he did. The line judge is saying it did hit the ground.
And even the PA announcer is a little distraught. I mean, PA announcer even saying that was a complete pass, and they're showing it on the video board, and you see Payne watching it.
Ooh, I think he got his.
You see his reaction. And Sam, the unfortunate thing, there's no reviews here in the state semifinal.
That's an unfortunate call for the
Payne,
Davenport
you just
Wolves.
see is livid, knowing he got that one, dealing with injury, and he got the ball, and man, he's fired up there, and I mean, you cannot blame the young man.
And J.D. Zimmerhansel is going to have to take a timeout to avoid another delay of game. So that timeout might be very important down the stretch.
I mean, you just listen to these fans for the Wolves. They're hooting and hollering and howling at these Zebras, and I mean, it's a rough night so far for the Wolf offense, but we've seen them come back from worse, and this game's not too far out of hand yet for this Wolves offense. I mean, we know how quickly they can turn it on a dime and start this offensive train going.
Might have to draw some crazy comeback magic that the volleyball team had in the state final. They came
down from 2-0 and got the reverse sweep. I mean, this is what we might be seeing here in Waco.
I mean, the volleyball team won their state champions. They were down 0-2, like you mentioned, to Canyon Randall there in Garland. from 0-2 to 3-2, was the first team down 0-2 to win a state championship, or to win a match in the playoffs for that matter. All other teams previous 0-197. First Comal school to have a state championship title in a major sport, the Major 8, in a playoff bracket since 2009 when Smithson Valley and Canyon Softball won their state titles on the same day. Mendez with his fourth punt, able to roll that one inside the 20. So able to play some field position here. And now it was must score for the offense. Now it's a must stop drive for the defense. Cannot give up another touchdown drive to
Sam,
the Bulldogs.
We've seen this defense come up time and time again with big stops. This crowd will go absolutely wild with a 3-and-out here. This is defense, though. I know and I believe in getting a 3-and-out right here. It's going to be a fun next 16 minutes pending.
Brisbane in the backfield with Stewart to his left, and movement once again. Braylon Allen with an early jump. That'll back him up 5 yards.
Anything you can take right now if you're the Wolves. I'm smelling a big sack right here for the Wolves. We saw him get some big stops down near the end zone against Calhoun.
Jumbo set for Chapel Hill, and
there's one stop.
Only a gain of a couple there. And 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers split to either side.
Even if the defense gets the stop, the offense that hasn't found their footing here in Waco needs to find it quickly.
That's what happened in the Alamo Dome. It was a muffed punt that sparked this Davenport team.
There's stop number 2.
Another gain of 2 for Stewart. They're going to actually give him the 17-yard line. So a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Let's see this pack of Wolves hound the Bulldogs.
Trips left for Brisbane. Quick throw. Wide open. Running down the sideline. Mayfield. He's going to go for 6. An 83-yard touchdown for Javen Mayfield. That might be a backbreaker for the Wolves.
That's a heartbreaker. Wide open. Just 70 yards to run. And he did it. 2 big stops after the penalty. And then a big touchdown for the Bulldogs. Makes it a 3+ score game.
The extra point is up and good for Campos. So 3:30 left here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs up 42-20. Trying to clinch a state championship berth once again. You're watching Texas High School football on the Wolves Sports Network. Three for 3 are the Tyler Chapel Hill Bulldogs here in the third quarter. That last drive only took 1:07 off the clock. They went 83 yards, and on 3rd and 10, an 83-yard touchdown pass from Brisbane to Mayfield has this at a 3-score game. Mason Falcone able to field the squib kick and a late hit. And no penalty flags. He's marked out at, where are they going to mark him? At the 50. Still waiting on a mark. I thought he went out at closer to the 45, but
Giving him the 50, but
take everything you can get.
look, down 22. It's looking a little bleak. But let's flash back to last week. It was a 20-20 game coming back from the half, essentially, with how Calhoun got started in the second half. The Wolves, after that, 35 unanswered points. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and they scored 21 points in the third. So give them 2 touchdowns back in the fourth right here. Doing some quick math makes it 34-42. You still need an extra touchdown. So 3 touchdowns, and got to hold the Bulldogs to none.
Got to have
Quick math.
3 touchdowns, 2 extra points,
Some
and
big stops.
and a 2-point conversion, all while holding the Bulldogs scoreless. Twins to each side. Fallon finds a hole past the 40. That's the biggest run for Barrett Fallon on the night. Got to get him going.
And one thing that we haven't been able to talk about tonight is how it hasn't been the dynamic duo here for the Wolves. It's been the Avengers we've talked about. You got so many skill players that are dangerous. It's been the dynamic duo for Chapel Hill, but the Avengers haven't shown up yet. And Davenport's in dire need of the Avengers right now.
Fallon, another carry, able to get the corner and cut down at the 30-yard line. So another good run for Barrett Fallon.
So we've got about 15 minutes for Avengers to assemble. More than enough time, though.
It's like in-game. All you need is one of these opportunities to make it count. Double move. Hamlin looking for someone, and that might be intentional grounding, even though
they're going to discuss this one, but I think Fallon was kind of in the area, and it looks like that's what they're discussing, if he was a receiver or not, or just trying to block.
They're going to say Fallon was in the area, so
big no flag there.
We saw one that did indeed be called for an intentional grounding, so a good throwaway by Hamlin keeps it at a 3rd and 4.
Big third down.
Twins to each side. Fallon to the right of Hamlin. RPO, and that one is almost intercepted. Trevor Brooks, his 5th PBU on the year, able to bait Hamlin just enough. Got his hand up as he was trying to find Payne on the slant. 4 down territory for the Wolves, down by 22. Payne motions to 3-by-1. Hamlin rolls right. They're going to get a screen to Fallon. He's got a convoy. Touchdown, Davenport. On 4th and 4, they set up a fake screen, roll to the left, throw back to Fallon. Big time call there by J.D. Zimmerhansel.
Think about how Hamlin rolling to his left-handed throwing all the way crossbody, not just a little bit crossbody. That was completely over the shoulder.
And a 2-on-1.
Paid it. There's touchdown number 1.
Huge play there as the extra point is no good. So the second extra point that has missed. This one, it's wide right for Mendez. So now it's still a 2-possession game, but they've got to find their 2 best 2-point plays to go along with 2 touchdowns and 2 stops.
A wild 14 minutes to see who has to jump in the river.
So that last touchdown drive took 53 seconds off the clock. They went 50 yards, and that last play was on 4th and 4. A huge touchdown throw from Hamlin to Fallon that went 28 yards.
I know we're up here in Waco. We're keeping an eye on things in Darren Corpus for Smithson Valley. 49-7. 9 minutes left there for the Rangers before they go to the state championship in Arlington, Texas. The Wolves trying to fight their way back to go to their first state championship game.
They're going to go onside kick, and Chapel Hill is ready for it. Fielded by number 20 of the Bulldogs, Nathan Young. Good hands there as the Wolves tried to steal a possession. It'll be great field position for Tyler Chapel Hill.
Big drive right here. Big opportunity for a big stop here in the month of December.
People remember December.
And only winners are here at this point. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Winners only group here in Texas high school football.
Brisbane gives it to Stewart. Stewart able to break one tackle inside the 40 of the Wolves.
They just haven't been able to stop Brisbane or Stewart here this evening. The Wolves haven't found an answer for those two guys yet. The two-headed monster. And you think less guys to worry about, not all the skill players, but those two young men are great athletes.
That's the 21st now, the 22nd carry. This one's a tackle for loss. Gianni Evans-Williams in there, as well as Tate Broadus.
Talked about earlier, gotta get to the line of scrimmage, gotta stop them before it. That's what is key here these last 14 minutes.
So 22 carries for Stewart, 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards. Here's Brisbane now. He's in the clear, cutting back inside the 20, inside the 10, and touchdown Bulldogs. A 41-yard touchdown run for the SMU commit. His 4th touchdown of the game, his 3rd as a runner.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if
he stepped out. I think they missed that one.
And you see the line judge actually pointing to the other ref, trying to get some help on it. They called him a touchdown. Kick, the extra point is good, making it a 49-26 game here in Waco. 1:28 left in the 3rd. Sam, the game's not done yet, but it's looking bleaker and bleaker by the minute right now.
I mean, that was a huge answer by the Bulldogs after it looked like the Wolves might gain some momentum from that 4th and 4 touchdown conversion. Brisbane able to break that defense of Davenport and find the end zone once again. It shows why that 1-2 punch for Tyler Chapel Hill is just so dangerous. We're talking to some of the Chapel Hill folks before the game, including Connor Griffin's dad. As 8th graders, these juniors, again, this is the junior class we're talking about, they outscored their opponents 441-6. And it's a big reason why Tyler Chapel Hill has made the state semifinals each of the last 2 years. And it looks like this year, as the scoreboard shows right now, looks like they might finally get over that hump in year 3.
And the biggest thing is when the Wolves average 55 points, that's what they average in victories. And losses, they average 25. Here it's a 49-26 game. And unfortunately, in postseason and any time, the scoreboard doesn't lie about how things are going. Still time to go. Not done yet, though.
Davenport will start at the 34-yard line. They give to Greiman, and he is stood up right at the line of scrimmage, able to wrestle his way for a gain of 1. That last drive for Tyler Chapel Hill took 59 seconds off the clock. They went 52 yards. And a 41-yard touchdown run for Brisbane as we hit the 1 minute mark here in the third quarter. Hamlin. Twins to either side. Fallon to the right of him. Showing pressure is the Bulldogs. RPO out route to Payne is too far out in front of him. So it'll be 3rd and 9. They've just been a tick off today so far.
Talk about this offense, just hasn't found their momentum yet. Still time to do it.
Rolling to his right, Hamlin looking for Griman. He got his foot down past the 45-yard line, out of bounds at the 47. 39 seconds left here in the third. A big third down conversion for the Wolves. They've been quite well in that category, just have faced too many, as well as some that have been too long. Sokup in cutting route at the 40, breaks a couple tackles inside the 35, down at the 32.
That's the momentum swing that the Wolves might need right there. Great catch by Sokup, breaks a few tackles, keeps going after the contact. We'll see what the Wolves can do here. I think they need a touchdown here before the end of the third quarter to keep the dream alive.
They got 10 seconds left. Clock is ticking down. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Twins to either side. Fallon to the right of Hamlin. Showing pressure, and he does not have any time. Straight off a blitz, untouched, is Trevor Brooks. His 12th tackle of the year, and that's how the third quarter ends. The Wolves are going to have a fourth quarter miracle. Down by 23. They got 12 minutes left to see if they can punch their ticket to Jerry World. We'll be back from McLean Stadium in Waco, Texas, after a few moments. Tyler Chapel Hill seeking their 4th title game appearance as a program. They've got 2 state championships, one in 1989, their most recent at the 3A level in 2011. Davenport looking for their first state championship appearance in their 4th year as a school. Hamlin just off the mark, looking for Dante Singletary as he was pressured outside the pocket. So now it'll be 3rd and 16 from the Chapel Hill 37.
That play right there was kind of what we've seen all night long. The Wolves have been executing what they need to be doing, but I mean, just mere inches from being a complete pass, a first down, you name it. It's been minimal, the difference between first downs and not.
Flag on the field, wide open in the middle is Griman. He's got a first down, and he is downed at the 18-yard line, but there is a flag on the field. It's offside, so they're going to decline it and take the first down. So a big first down pickup for Emmett Griman. A gain of 19. So they're inside the red zone. Have to find 3 scores and 3 stops. Give to Fallon. Able to still muscle his way to the 15. Kind of like Ricky Stewart, kept his feet churning. Barrett Fallon's going to have one heck of a career at Davenport. Only a sophomore, has filled in quite well for Shaston Golden, who was a 2,000-yard rusher last year, graduated. Greiman with the carry to the 11. So it'll be 3rd down. They need the Chapel Hill 8-yard line for a first down.
And you talk about how great of a job Barrett Fallon's been doing this year. I mean, you can't leave anyone off the list of who's done a great job this year for the Wolves. When you ask any of the bigwigs in Texas high school football what they thought this Davenport team was going to do this year, they didn't think they were going to do anything. They thought they weren't going to make it to the playoffs. They're here in the state semifinal as the timeout's taken there on the Bulldogs sideline. I'm not trying to say, like, the season's not done yet. We're still here in Waco. There's still time to go. 23 points. It's not impossible.
It is not impossible. Like the Avengers, they did win against Thanos once before. It might, when Doctor Strange looked at it and saw all the possible.
1 in a billion, I think, was the chances.
All they need is one.
All they need is one. That's what it's going to take here tonight, is that one chance for these Wolves to advance. They've just got to take it. It's that simple. I mean, you can throw away, if just a simple mindset of it's a 0-0 game, you just got to score 23 points.
When they have not led at the half, they are 0-2. Their 3rd loss being against Burnett, their most recent loss when they led 17-14 at the half against the Bulldogs. And they're trying to not have another loss versus a different Bulldogs team. They still have eyes on Arlington, trying to get to Jerry World and play in AT&T Stadium. They've got 10:30 to go, down by 23. Pitch to Fallon, and he is tackled in the backfield. A big stop for Chapel Hill.
We'll see. Looks like they're going to go for it here again on this 4th down. Not a lot of punts here in Waco from either team. Both teams know that you've just got to roll this dice in December.
Matthew Walker with the tackle. 4th and 3 from the 11. They need the 8-yard line. Twins to either side. Fallon to the right of Hamlin. Bulldogs rush 4. They look for Fallon, and it's behind him. No flags on the field. Turnover. Wait, there is a flag after the play.
On celebration. It looks like it's going to be on 90 for Chapel Hill. That's Kendall Allen.
We'll wait for our white hat, Ricky Prine, to make the call. Barrett Fallon signaling that the offense should stay on the field.
We'll see if we can see the flag here. I think our great camera operator was following the ball, not where the flag is.
So it is a after the play penalty, and Chapel Hill will take over. They will be backed up, so 9:45 left here in this ball game. Davenport must move quickly. They've got 2 timeouts left. 2 timeouts remain as well for Tyler Chapel Hill. But they need a turnover in a big way right now.
They need the luck of the draw like they had last week. You know, a few fumbles by the Bulldogs like the Sand Crabs had. You got to recover them. Got to maybe get a Tate Broadus fumble recovery for a touchdown. Need a muff punt or something. I mean, it's not over yet.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
I mean, as time draws closer and closer to 0, there's less chances for these Wolves to come back.
Chapel Hill's 2-headed monster has been just as good as advertised. Demetrius Brispin able to pick up 3 on that carry, 16 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Brisbane as there's a injured Wolf on the field. While he's down and is being attended to, we will take a break. 9:31 left in the fourth. Bulldogs lead 49-26. You're watching Texas High School football on the Wolf Sports Network. Second and 7 now, after Walker Birch was able to walk off the field on his own power. Ricky Stewart, 24 carries, 156 yards, and 3 touchdowns, gets carry number 25. He's got the corner, and he's out for another first down. Tackled down from behind at the 21. It moves the chains as Tate Broadus is slow to get up for Davenport once again.
And it seems like just little, at this time of year, nagging injuries start to pile up, and it seems like the Wolves have kind of been bit by the injury bug here tonight and dealing with it since last week. Lost Kyler Payne, and we just hope Tate Broadus is okay there right near the Wolves sideline. We'll take a break here as it's 49-26 here in Waco on the Wolves Network. We'll be back after this break.
Tate Broadus able to be helped off the field. Played a key role last week at that Wolf linebacker position, had 3 sacks, a fumble recovery for a touchdown as they were able to kind of turn the tide against Port Lavaca Calhoun. He and Barrett Fallon will be many of the big-time returners for Davenport next year, as Broadus is a sophomore, as we go under 9 minutes left.
And the toughest thing at this point is the clock's just against the Wolves. These 25-second play clocks, 40-second play clocks. Chapel Hill's going to bleed it all the way down to 1 every single time, and time is just not your friend here for the Wolves.
Give to Stewart. He's got the outside flag behind the play as Eric Singletary makes the tackle at the 29, but this is in the realm of holding. So back him up 10, as there was a hold there inside. Looked like it was Keldrick Davis that might have been called for the hold. The center trying to block number 35 of Davenport, Hayden Turner. But first and 20, clock still moving. Play clock is now at 5 seconds. And back him up 5 more yards. A false start penalty. Center did not snap the ball as Brisbane, as well as a couple wide receivers, moved. So that stops the clock at 8:10, and it restarts as well. So the clock's still moving. So we go under 8 minutes. Davenport can only stop the clock twice. First and 25. 1 on the play clock. That's going to be a delay of game. Now they get able to get the play off instead. And minimal gain there. Brisbane, no gain on the play.
Second down.
So 2nd and 25 for the Bulldogs. Up by 23. Able to get a big 4th down stop last drive as a defense. Caused 2 punts as well. The offense has been rolling here in the second half, 4 for 4 on touchdown drives. And Coach Reardon is going to take a timeout with 7 minutes left, 23-point lead, as they can start to taste the smellings of AT&T Stadium. But Davenport, the first San Antonio school in their 2nd year to make the state semifinals. Some other state champions in their 2nd year as a football program. 2015 Brock, 2019 Shadow Creek, 2021 Katy Pato, and Davenport trying to do it once again, as the winner of this one will face Anna and Decatur, a rare state semifinal rematch where Anna won week 1 37-31. Anna up big on Decatur 31-13. So as it stands right now, it looks like it's going to be a Tyler Chapel Hill Anna state final at the 4A Division I level. 2nd and 24. Brisbane is pressured, is not tackled, still alive, and he's still alive. Able to get outside the pocket and all the way to the 25-yard line. What an effort there from Demetrius Brisbane Jr. Lost for words, aren't you, Cole?
Just a little bit. I mean, so many opportunities to get him there, pinned in their own 5-yard line, and just missed him by a hair every single time, and then he got the big gain. I mean, it's still 3rd down, but with this amount of time left, that stop down there right next to the end zone would have been huge.
Hayden Turner had a chance to possibly get a safety. Instead, it's a gain of 19, 3rd and 5. Give to Stewart. He's got the 1st down and more.
Great open field tackle again by Cole Boron. I mean, that's one thing you could applaud these Wolves here today is all their open field tackles. But you don't want it coming down to an open field tackle time in and again, and too often tonight that's what it's been. And great applause to the defensive backs and the safeties of the Wolves. It's just been a tough night for these Wolf team. I mean, I can't applaud them enough, though, for getting all the way to the state semifinal. No one thought they would get here, and they have come in and shown that you can't count out the underdogs.
2-yard carry there for our Jabo Cook. Gets it to midfield as we tick closer towards 5 minutes. Time not on the side of the Wolves, as it's also not a good sign that Tate Broadus is on crutches going towards the tunnel where they came out of. 2nd and 8. Here's a give to Brooks, and Trevor Brooks only able to gain 1 there.
At this point, you just hope every player gets out healthy and able to play next season and in the future. So many Wolves, I'm not going to try and name them all, that are seniors that we won't get to see play next year. I mean, I just hope all of them get an opportunity to play at the next level. They've shown that they're capable of playing at a high level, and they all deserve an eye at least. I mean, we've seen so many schools, UTSA, just to name one, in the past few weeks have gone to Davenport High School to get eyes on these players. And I think we'll see a few of them at the next level.
3rd and 7. Pass is complete to Brooks. Another first down. This time on the arm of Demetrius Brisbane Jr. Clock goes under 4 minutes as he's able to get it to Brooks once again. First down from the 36 of Davenport.
Not quite sure what the discussion happening here is, but
and it looks like Brisbane is going to have to come out for a play as the backup quarterback, number 13, Connor Griffin, is coming into the ball game. So 3:57 left as our white half referee, Ricky Prine, gives the explanation to both head coaches. First and 10 from the 36. A give to Stewart. He's got a hole inside the 30 and dragged down at the 25-yard line. A gain of 11. And they continue to move the chains and slowly but surely tick all the clock with them. Really,
I mean, this Davenport team has shown you why you show up week in, week out, why you play the game. Even if you're slated as the underdog going into a season, if you don't show up, you don't show up to be a 11-3 team here in the state semifinal. And
Stewart inside the 15. Another first down run. He's over 200 yards on the evening. The future Mustang is going to be running home, so to speak. Be playing in the DFW area next week, likely against Anna as they lead Decatur. We saw 11 rematches and the regional final level. This is a Tyler Chapel Hill team that was sputtering at the end of their regular season. Bobbled snap for Brisbane, able to get to about the line of scrimmage. They really sputtered at the end of the year. They lost to Kilgore. Not a bad loss by any means, with Kilgore being the 3rd-ranked team in the country, or excuse me, in the state for 4A. But then once playoffs came, they kicked it into a different gear as they go into their reserves. Brisbane, Stewart, and all the first-teamers getting a well-deserved standing ovation. J-Bo Cook is into the end zone. Touchdown, Chapel Hill.
just simply ran up the gut for the touchdown, got by a few Wolves, and an easy 10 yards, except for the lone attempt by Cole Boron for the stop. And he's had a great evening for himself, showing he's capable of making open field tackles.
Extra point is up and good. So our new score, 2:20 left in the ball game. A 30-point lead for Tyler Chapel Hill. They are 140 seconds away from punching their ticket.
And I want to see the Wolves coming out quick and fast here on this possibly last offensive drive. I want to see the Wolves team that we've seen all season long. They have an opportunity to show you why they're here in the state semifinal one last time. And I think they're not going to end the season how they wanted to, but they can have one final drive of showing what kind of offense this Wolf team is made of.
The Bulldogs fans feeling themselves here at McLean Stadium. They can sense victory as that last drive just slowly saw the dreams of Davenport vanish away. 7 minutes, 25 seconds taken off the clock on a 94-yard touchdown drive. And it was a 12-yard run for J-Bo Cook. Mason Falcone fields the squib kick at the 39. So the Wolves have 2 timeouts left. Would need an absolute miracle. This would be that 1 in a billion type of scenario if they could somehow find a way to score, get an onside kick, score, get an onside kick 4 different times.
We'll see what the Wolves can do. Talk about 1 in a billion. I just am focused on this one drive here. I want to see the Wolves go out on a touchdown.
Hamlin back to pass. Going to take a deep shot, looking for Kyler Payne, and a flag comes in. It looks like there was too much contact between Payne and the
down
defender.
The sideline is where you don't want to see is Payne was a little slow to get up, dealing with that left shoulder. And for Payne, I don't think he wants to sit out any plays here at the end of the season. I mean, as anyone that knows what it's like playing sports as a senior like Kyler Payne, you just want to be out there on the field to finish your season, and hopefully he gets back out there. He's on the sidelines right now, so we'll just wait to see if he gets back out there. Long discussion between the umpire and crew here.
They're really deliberating about this one. And Kyler Payne, one of 26 seniors.
There's no flag on the play.
So 2nd and 10.
As we see Payne go back out there, though, from our vantage point, just glad to see the young man playing one last time in the maroon and gray.
So 2nd and 10 from the 39, 2:09 left on the clock. Two running backs in the backfield with Hamlin. Fallon will get the carry. Looking for some blockers. Able to get to the 45 and the surge all the way to the 47. Makes it 3rd and 2 as we go under 2 minutes. Not working at the quickest of pace. 3rd and 2, Hamlin. Shallow cross to DeAnthony Moore. He's got a first down inside Chapel Hill territory and then cut down at the 44-yard line. So 1st down for the Wolves. 1:20 left. Hamlin. Long throw. Finds Singletary. He's inside the 35 and then dragged out of bounds. Clock will stop as the chains move as well. They give him the 34, so a gain of 10. 65 seconds left in the Davenport season. Trips right. Fallon in the backfield with Hamlin. Scanning. Gets out of the pocket. Finds Fallon. Makes a cut inside the 20. And finally dragged down inside the 15. Fallon all the way to the 11-yard line. A 23-yard catch and run.
Great catch by Fallon there, spinning off of Dante Singletary, keeping the feet moving. The Wolves looking for that one final touchdown.
And
they got it!
Touchdown, Wolves. Hamlin to Singletary. And the Wolves might have scored last. We'll go for the onside kick as there's a big embrace with Tristan Hamlin and Coach J.D. Zimmerhansel.
Just found Singletary after being spun off of by Barrett Fallon. He gets the touchdown after the helper essentially assist to Barrett Fallon and Singletary, hockey assist style. Now 40 seconds left on the season, and just what a season it has been for these Davenport Wolves. We could go blue in the face talking about what this team has meant to the community. The community pep rally last night, and so many kids left school early to come watch these Wolves play here in Waco, making the 3-hour trip. They got that one last touchdown to send themselves off on a high before these 40 seconds tick away. And what this team has meant to this community has been huge. I mean, you got the volleyball team winning the state championship, the reverse sweep against Randall. You got the football team as underdogs coming here to the state semifinal and showing up, falling a little short, but what a season it has been for Davenport.
Yeah, the first District 13 title in their second year as UIL members. They defeated the only team that beat them in the regular season from their district last year. That was Canyon Lake, who won District 13. They demolished them. They won 70-13. Their only blemish of the district play was Burnett, losing 34-41 as Mendez sends it deep, is fielded at the 1-yard line and tackled inside the 20. So it's the favorite, likely the favorite play in the playbook for Tyler Chapel Hill. One kneel down will do it. But Davenport, like you said, their team of destiny, their Cinderella story, so to speak, ends tonight. As they'll...
And I think we just got to rattle off some of their stats. I mean, as the clock ticks away, it's basically etched in stone. Over 700 points scored by this Wolves offense. Over 4,000 passing yards. 50-plus touchdowns through the air. And he got 40 more through the ground.
Now they fumbled the exchange. Luckily, that wasn't a close enough game to where that matters. But all the fans from Tyler, Texas are going to be making their way to Arlington. Our final score from McLean Stadium. The Tyler Chapel Hill Bulldogs, 56. The Davenport Wolves, 33. The Wolves' seasons comes to an end here in Waco, Texas. The team that beat the 4A Division I favorites just a week ago keep that momentum going against the Wolves. They will be playing at Jerry World December 15th, an 11 a.m. kick, and they'll get the winner of Decatur and Anna. Truly an incredible season once again by Davenport. Their first district championship, the furthest they've gone in the playoffs Last year they went to round 2. This year they go to the state semifinals. Was one of 3 remaining San Antonio schools to make the state semis. And Steele will play here tomorrow at 4 p.m. against Summer Creek. Final thoughts on this game as well as the season, Cole?
I mean, I don't want to talk about this game because it's the end of the season, but I just want to talk about the season as a whole. You and I have been covering them since the beginning of the playoffs, essentially. What a playoff run it has been for all these young men, for this Davenport team. There's a reason why so many members of this community came out and supported them, and I know they're going to hang their heads low here tonight. But I want all these players to remember what they did out on the gridiron one final time on a Friday evening before I hope all these seniors get an opportunity to show out on Saturdays next year. And for the rest of these players, let's run it back next year on Friday nights.
Yeah, 26 seniors that have played their final football game in the maroon unis. They played together since they were freshmen, had their first full varsity schedule as sophomores, 2 UIL seasons where they finished second in district play last year, go to the second round. They are district champs this year, and they make it all the way to the state semifinals. It's really, as some people say, the cruelest round because you're so close. But nothing, as you said, nothing to hang your hat on. Some final stats for this game. Demetrius Briston Jr., what a game he had. 5 of 6 passing, 168 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, he had 19 carries, 165 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Ricky Stewart, the other big bad man for the Bulldogs, 28 carries, 220 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That 1-2 combo really gave Davenport fits as both SMU commits show why they're D1 talent. On the other side for Davenport, Tristan Hamlin, 19 of 38, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Truly incredible stuff what he's done over his career. 6,800 yards passing. He goes over 80 touchdowns just in these last 2 years. And he had 50 touchdowns, 4,000 plus passing yards this year. Really nothing to hang your hat on, as he's one of those guys that you mentioned. He's got to be thinking about possibly getting some looks and offers to play on Saturday, as well as Barrett Fallon, 20 carries, 63 yards, 1 reception for 49 yards and a touchdown. He will be back, as there's plenty of talent to go around for this Davenport team. Those juniors and seniors are going to remember this moment, remember how close they were, and try to get one round further to play at the state championship level just next year. Big thanks to all of our crew here at Wick Productions, our camera operators, Grady Elbel, Mason Lemmy, Benjamin Figueroa, our producer, Travis Banks, and our stats man, Tony Kamen. It's been a pleasure working with you.
And Sam, we just got to thank everyone that helped us get here too. We got to thank the man in charge, Bo Wick, helping us get here. We got to thank the Wolves Athletic Booster Club helping us get here, Mr. Daniel Sokup, Mr. Mark Mulkey. Most important of all, Coach J.D. Zimmer Hansel, thank you for your hospitality, helping us get here to Waco. Brian Martinez, the athletic director of Comal. I mean, you and I have just been covering this team for this playoff run.
They're the ones that make it
honor.
Yep. They're the ones that make it possible. Partner, it's been a fun run. It has been a fun run. But tonight was all about Tyler Chapel Hill. They are victorious over the Davenport Wolves. They will be going on to the state championship game next week. But once again, for our entire crew here at Wick Productions, for my partner, Cole Pavelio, I'm Sam Kamen saying so long from McLean Stadium. Our final is the Region 3 champions are going to the state championship game. Tyler Chapel Hill defeats Davenport 56-33. Hope everyone has a good night. So long from Waco, Texas.